What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. And this is Gray Area Anime. Back again with another episode of Teach Me Senpai. And of course, as is per usual, we will get other people on. You're welcome to invite yourselves to come on as well. But yeah, again, we have BibleStudyGirl.
Hello.
And we're still doing Ascendance of the Bookworm. And this is episode 4.
Chapter 4. Forests and Clay Tablets.
This one was fun.
It was super fun. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's winter's over.
Winter is, thank goodness, we finally get to see the water dripping off of the icicles. Mm-hmm. People can go back outside. We're ready to go back outside.
Yeah, I mean, winter is going to, like, normally fall, winter is my favorite. But fall, winter this year is going to be terrible.
Is it?
Oh, it's going to be terrible.
With the mask?
Not just with the mask. Like, you got people going through flu season and everything else. So everybody's going to be mine. So it's going to be real flu season plus combating all of that. Yeah. Plus, Lord forbid we get an actual winter this year during all this. I mean,
Jesus.
Like, y'all already at home. We already at home as is. So we just going to be them. We're going to have to learn how to write books.
Do whatever we can.
Do whatever we can. You know.
I love that chapter 4 starts off with one of my favorite things, which is a delicious meal. Have a little 5-year-old chefing it up. She chefed it up in the last episode.
Oh, that was the thing that she had learned in this. Immediately, she's like, so I decided to cook. It was her turn. Well, actually, it was her turn to cook. Mm-hmm. And so what she did. As a
5-year-old, the children have so much responsibility. Like they are shaping adults.
Because they do so many different things. Like you could tell that they are so primitive. I keep using that word, but it's literally that, because they'll cook stocks, which they don't know are stocks, and then just pour the water out. Like, okay, I cooked the vegetable. I don't need anything else here.
Yeah, and mine is like, this is a terrible mistake. As a matter of fact, she gets sick in a previous episode, and her sister brings her some soup with sausage, and she's like, oh yeah, the sausage is delicious. In her head, she's thinking, but this could be better. Yeah, this could be better. And so this was her opportunity to show her family better. And her family is so used to throwing the water out. Her mom allows her to keep the water, even though it's not what they traditionally do.
She's looking like, I don't know what's going on with this.
Everybody is hesitant to eat it because this is not how we do things.
But her dad and Turi eat it first. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then the mom tries like, wow, this is delicious. Like, what's going on here? Like, this is when they all just had the realization, like, you have been acting different. You know, this ain't you.
This
in the words of Ha Dave, this is beyond me.
Like, her mom is talking to her dad, and she's like, is it just me, or is mine like on another level? First, she made the shampoo.
Yeah.
Then she made the pancakes.
Now she's making whole meals.
No, she made that basket. And the mom was like, and she made the basket better than Turi. And I've not taught her how to make baskets. And now she's over here whipping up soup. This girl is acting different.
You acting new.
Yeah, so they both are puzzled by that. But then,
so now that Turi, not Turi, mine is realizing that, okay, papyrus didn't work.
Right.
I got another idea. Clay.
Let's
do some clay tablets. Let's do the Moses.
She wants the clay tableted out, and I mean, hey,
tablets.
They get she wants to tablet it out. But her dad has a proposition for her before
get to that. She has to get the clay. She has to be able to go to the forest.
She has to be able to go to the forest because they live in the city. They are surrounded by the gates of the city. She has experienced the forest when she went to the pig festival, but we have to remember she is frail.
Frail as can be.
She is frail. Her body, mentally, she's strong, but the body that she's in now is not able to do.
So, what she asked her dad is, okay, I get it. You say I'm frail because she asked him, can I go to the forest to get the clay? He's like, bro, you can't even make it down the street. Like, why would I do that? Like you'd only cause problems for everybody because then they would have to carry you home or do whatever. Is at this point that he had gotten a request from Otto.
Yeah, Otto. She helped Otto in a previous episode talk about figure out his calculations. So
he says to the father, like, hey, well, can we do this? I need her help making sure my calculations and things are right. I do know that it is illegal for a child under 7 that has not been baptized
to
work. So what we'll do is she can come here and learn to read and write.
That is the official reason that she will be at the city gate, just to keep everything above board and legal. She's coming here to learn to read and write,
which is also something she wanted to do.
Right, we know that's right up her alley. That's what she wants. She is craving books, and so this is going to give her the head start because at this point she only knows 4 letters.
Yep, she only knows her name. And so his other proposition was, okay, so here's what we'll do. Since you have to go there anyway, you'll build yourself walking from our home to the gate.
Right.
And once you've done that and you're able to get to the gate, then you can go to the forest to get the clay.
Yeah, she has to be able to walk to the gate and back home that evening without, passing out. So if she can do that, then she's allowed to go to the forest.
So she only makes it a little bit, but she gets to and her dad carries her the rest of the way on the first day. They get there. They're learning the alphabet and things, and she's learning with some other boys.
Because these boys are actually 7, and this is their apprenticeship. They're training up as soldiers.
Yeah. And so they have to learn to read and write and everything. And so they're learning to read, and about halfway through, because mine is, again, a teacher.
Right.
At this point in her heart and in her mind. She's like, hey, they're getting bored. You can tell because they're fidgeting. We should probably switch to something else.
Right. He's listening to this 5-year-old who's so tiny. And it's funny,
they just listen immediately.
They are listening to her immediately because she knows what she's talking about. Otto writes out the alphabet, but she's catching on.
Yeah.
And she's like, so this is what we're going to do today.
So we're gonna do numbers, and then now we're gonna work on numbers. We're done with the alphabets for today. And then before you leave, everything that we've done today, we're going to do tomorrow. So when you go home, make sure that you've learned these things so you can come back with it. And he's like, well, doesn't that seem a lot easier? It's like, listen, you can't compare them to me
because I'm a grown woman. I mean, she doesn't say that,
but she might as well have said that. And she's like, because they want to go home, so they'll do what they need to do so that they can go home. They'll be up here all night otherwise if they don't. So, that was cute. And then they start into basically her trials to getting to the forest. So
correct. So she goes to work this day.
And then she's out for 3 days.
She is so sick from the effort she exerted. And, she didn't even walk all the way to the gate. Her dad carried her after a certain point, but it wears her new body out.
And so I think Lutz helps her get home that first day.
He does. And she feels horrible.
Yeah.
Because she's not, I don't know, let's say maybe she made it 10 steps away from the gate.
It wasn't even that, it was not far at all.
And she's like, I can't do this. And Lutz is like, don't worry about it. Your sister and your dad asked me to take care of you. So as long as it takes for us to get home, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to get you home.
And so then we go into a montage of basically like, okay, so it went from I could go one day, be off 3 days, to I was able to go 3 days, and then I'm off 2 days, and then I could go all 5, and I would only be off 1.
Right.
And she's like, well, finally I accomplished what I need to accomplish, and I'm able to go to the forest.
I made it, Dad. I've been able to walk back and forth for 5 days. Bless you. And I haven't been sick. Yeah.
I can't mute you from over here.
Sorry. It's fine. I need for you to.
No, it's a running joke. She gets muted all the time.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh. It's a new thing because it's like if I'm trying to make a point and she's about to go in the Super Saiyan mode, as I call it, of explaining something that I want to explain, but she spoiler alerts my thoughts.
Well, you spoiler alert a lot of things in life. Yeah. Like when you came to my house the other day, but when we were talking about like, oh, has he done the thing yet? No, he hasn't.
Well, no, he had, but it's fine. We'll get on that later.
But no, he hadn't. But anyway.
No, not that thing. That's not what I was talking about.
So what I'm saying is.
We'll get back. You spoiled it yourself.
I did not. Because I'm like, I have not gotten to this point in the episode. Like, why? You are the spoiler. Which is why.
Of the Umbrella Academy.
Which is why I love that we watch this together. Because there is you can't spoil it for me. You get so excited.
I could.
Did you look up what happens?
No. No. What I mean more so is like because
you can't
so many
tell
of
me.
These things.
Okay, I don't. But I'm saying you can't tell me specifically what, because you'll be like, oh, wait for this next scene. It's gonna be great. Can we just watch it, bro? Okay, so back where she's going to the forest, guys.
But they're used to this. Listen, this is what I'm saying because this is what I'm talking about. So she'll go off on her tangents of explaining something, and she'll be like, I thought you were going to forget this, so I'm going to just go, and then after the next I don't. I thought, just in case, it seemed like. It's never. But anyway, so they make it to the forest. And immediately upon making it to the forest, she starts trying to dig for clay. This is after Lutz looked there and said, oh, hey, just rest here. We'll be back.
We're going to get firewood because, these kids aren't going to the forest every day to play. It's part of their responsibility. They need firewood. They exist. They use the firewood for cooking, for heat.
For building up for that horrible winter.
Yeah. Like we have to work all year round to make sure we're going to have enough. So while we're working, you just sit here. But as soon as they leave, she pulls out her trusty spade.
And she has made a whole spade.
She's constructed a spade.
Or had her dad do it, probably.
Probably daddy made it for her.
So let's go back. Like, what are you doing?
Because she's digging, like, she's giving it would have taken her
forever to get down.
Yeah, with her little frail body. And he's like, you, my friend, are dishonorable. Because you promised your dad
you were just going to come here.
Yeah. Today, the only thing you were going to do is walk to the forest and walk back. You're supposed to rest. While we work, you're resting so that you can make it back.
Said, I cannot believe you dishonorable this way.
Yeah, he's like, so you had no intention of following directions. Clearly.
Since you left.
Since you brought this with you.
Lied instantly.
You are a liar.
And so, I mean, he chastises her, but then he's like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
She's like, well, I'm trying to get clay. And he's like, all right, I'm going to help you. You're going to help me? Didn't I tell you that I was going to do what I could for you when you gave me the papyrus cakes? The pyru cakes.
Yeah, pyru cakes.
And
I thought it was so interesting. He said, I was starving and you fed me. Not even just that I was hungry, but I was starving. Like, and you helped me to live. That'll preach. But anyway.
So, on another podcast, the Bible Study Girl podcast that you can check out at BibleStudyGirl.com or on all streaming platforms with executive producer Icarus Gray, also known as Bible Study Brother. But anyway.
Over there, your Bible Study Brother.
Here we go. He gets her the clay.
Yeah, he takes her to a different spot where the clay is not as deep down.
Where the vegetation isn't, messing up the roots or messing up the soil. And so he gets her all the clay, and she starts immediately making the tablets.
He's like, what are you going to do with this? Why do you need all of this?
It's like, I'll show you. I want to write books. And like, papers this and da-da-da-da. And then she starts writing on them. And she's sitting them out to dry, the tablets that she's made. She's sitting them out to dry. And Lutz is the middle brothers. Again, I don't know their names.
I can't remember the middle, but the oldest brother is Faye. Faye comes back with the middle brother.
And the middle
brother like, hey guys, what are you doing?
The middle brothers, they're like, what is this?
Yeah, this is, there are clay tablets everywhere. And it looks like hopscotch. They're kids.
But also, again, it's such a weird thing to like, what is this? Can anyone answer? I'm not waiting for an answer. I'm going to just jump on these things.
But they're kids. That's what kids do. They don't say, well, they don't intellectualize things like, well, what is this? It's like, mine's over here playing. Let me get in on it. And
they just jump on every single one of our things.
Every tablet.
Like, not even like stopping to be like, okay, I can understand why this is fun. This is just fun because I'm a kid.
But I get it because they've been working all day. Like, kids want to play. Kids don't want to just have to. I mean, they're kids. They just want to have fun. And
I wonder if she'll do that for them too. If she's going to get them to a point where kids can be kids. Probably not.
Probably not because she's adult minded.
Yeah.
Every now and then, like you said, when she was smashing the fruit, the kid in her came out. But she's been on a mission. A mission to get her books. She wants the books.
So immediately she gets mad.
When they stomp on that first tablet, of course she doesn't even really have time to tell them to stop because they just jump right on.
They're just going. And then, finally she says stop. And they're like, oh, what did we do?
Man, you want to talk about fury?
And so the thing that I think is important
is that something that's
here,
okay, go ahead.
Is that this is where I think the introduction of magic comes in.
Is it? Because I was going to ask you if this is something that's characteristic of anime. Okay.
I mean, well, yeah, but like it comes with a purpose most times.
Okay.
So they are big into aura, like coloring. Like you've seen Last Dragon.
No, but okay.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not a movie gal, so you don't.
No, I know, but this is like one of those that I like just feel like you should have seen.
Okay, but that doesn't mean I should.
So I'm just trying to think. I don't know if I have a reference that could show you exactly what I'm talking about.
I saw Ascendance.
What?
I've seen The Wizard of Oz. Yes, gotcha.
That
Glinda the Good Witch's aura.
The glow. So it's like a thing. It's like you are radiating certain things. In this one, I specifically believe that it's magic because her eyes began to change color
into rainbow. Her eyes go into rainbow color. There's a yellow coming off of her. She's angry. She's like,
I am not going to forgive you, which lot of the times in anime can mean I'm going to kill you.
Well,
Koros.
In this anime,
if you hear Koros, I just said I want to kill you.
Okay, well, that's what she looked like. And also all the other players and all the other kids in this scene say there's something up with her.
Like, oh my God, she scared the crap out of us.
She did.
Because Lutz came up and was like, hey.
Is this the magic? Is this the magic?
We'll get it back together.
And her sister comes in like, she's like, they didn't mean it. Like they didn't know this was important to you. Yeah. They were just playing around because she is
livid.
And so the kids spend the rest of, they're late getting home.
Yeah, because they spend the rest of the day getting this stuff together for her. They get home, and because they need to dry, it ends up raining. So all the ones that she had just made again are destroyed. And Lutz says to her, if you got time to cry, you got time to try again.
Very great quote. That'll preach too.
Again,
this episode was full of
over at the BibleStudyGirl. But
if you got time to cry, baby, you got time to make some more. We go into this forest every day.
This is what we do.
This is.
So you can do that while we do this. So they go back, they do it again. She's able to get them home. She gets them home. She puts them in the oven and they crack because obviously she doesn't know that you need proper temperatures. You have to set things. You have to actually coat.
Honey, they don't just crack.
They explode.
They explode. I thought the whole apartment was gonna go up.
And her mom, and she's like, no. And her mom has had these moments where she's like, mine. Yo, mine. You hear me? Calm down, son.
And calm down. This little 5-year-old's living the best life, man.
Slow down, son. You're killing them.
She's living the best life
ever. And that was the episode. This episode, I think, was.
But we also didn't talk about how her sister was like, so what kind of stories are you writing? What are you writing on this tablet? And we also get to see, this is her first time. She said this is the first time she's felt genuine joy
in Mind's
body. Like, to see her book spread out on the field, the open field.
Yeah.
To explain to her sister, because the mom has been telling her a story.
Or telling her stories the first thing she did when she got sick was she told her story.
A story.
And she says,
and that was the first thing that came to Mind's mind as, what book am I going to write? I'm going to write the stories that our mom is telling us. And she has a realization like, okay, this is my mom now, and I need to honor her. I need to memorialize her.
Like, because she explains the essence of what books do, because he was asking
Lutz,
and she said to him, well, it takes something that can be forgotten and makes it permanent.
Yeah.
And I want to take the stories that my mom tells me and make them permanent.
Yeah, so I can always have them even if she's not here.
Yeah.
And so that people throughout the years will be able to
even though my mother doesn't listen to my podcast, I hope she listens to this episode and finishes the book that your children gave you.
The children, meaning myself and Icarus Gray, for Christmas last year, my mom is big on gifts. Like, what do you want for Christmas? And I told her, like, the only thing I want from you is a book. I found a book at Barnes & Noble that is, I think it's called The Story of My Mom, but
The Book of Mom or
something like
story
that.
Of your
so
life.
You give it to your parent. They have one for dads as well. You give it to your parent, and it has.
Do they?
Stop it! It has prompts and like tell the story of the first time you fell in love or whatever, and you get that in your parents' handwriting. I feel like that's a precious gift, and that's essentially what mine is doing. She's taking the moments that she's sharing with her new family, and she's making them permanent on these clay tablets that exploded in the oven that they have at home. But one thing for sure is I know she's not going to give up. She's going to keep going. She's very tenacious. And I'm
just wondering, like, what's the next thing that she's going to try?
I'm wondering too, because she's going through the civilization. She started out with the papyrus was Egyptian. I believe the clay tablets, she said, were Mesopotamian. So she's going through all the civilization she knows in her mind and trying to figure out what is the cheapest, simplest way for me to
just
advance.
Get something that I can write on and preserve something so I can get to the next spot. Because I think she intrinsically knows if I get to the parts where I can at least get it to more people, that's something that's huge. And then that should inspire the next evolution, the next era, new idea.
Because you also talked to Lutz about what he wanted to be when he grew up. Where did he see his life going? And he wants to travel, like to be a trader and go to different cities. I could tell by the way he said it to her. He thought she was going to say, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. And she's like, that's a great idea. I think you should do it. And he's like, what? Really? Like, you think that's feasible? She's like, yeah, see the world. Like, you should see the world.
And we already thought, like, okay, that's an amazing idea because then you travel and take these books. You spread the word, so to speak. Yeah, that can also preach.
That definitely can. See, you got it in you. It's in you.
Well, yeah. I would surely hope I do.
You got it in you. I'm just saying, it follows me wherever I go. I can't get away from Jesus, even on the gray area animes. Not that I'm trying to get away from him, but I'm just saying. That's
understood.
That's my love.
But it's
language.
Really good. We've been enjoying it.
It's been
Do you have
great.
any, like, because again, I don't think there's, other than the aura question, which is something that is a commonly used theme, because what anime does well, so like there's a lot of context that can be missed in shows. And a lot of times, like, it can either be to the betterment or the detriment. Most times to the detriment, because we're like, what is this person thinking? Like, that is the dumbest thing in the world that you're doing. Or like, if you're watching football or basketball or any sport that you have no knowledge of, if you don't go and ask somebody or learn something, you're never going to learn what it's about, why they made this move, what foul or whatever they're calling. Anime does a great job of explaining those inner processes of everything. Like, I mean, again, it'll make up something that is literally 30 seconds take 30 minutes because they are dialoguing all while doing this, but it's to inform the viewer.
Right.
So if it's sports or, you know, all the things that she realizes, she then informs to us, well, they must be here. I should try this. I should try that. It's something that I think would greatly help the Hunger Games, but,
hater.
Yeah. The hate is real for that movie, franchise.
How does Prima Diva Red do this? I get muted. Okay.
Most times, yes.
Okay.
She gets muted.
She gets muted.
But, you know, it's a huge thing that I think is also really good because it explains a lot of those weird things most times that you'd be like, well, this don't make no sense. How do you have this? Is this the I'm trying to think of something that would be is this the legacy power that has not been seen for 120 million years?
See, I don't even know what that means. Okay.
I'm just making stuff up.
Okay.
But it's just saying like, but that is a thing somewhere, okay. I'm sure. But it's more so like they say something out loud. So you're like, this is the thing that they were talking about in the beginning of the show.
Gotcha.
That has not been seen for this many years. This person is a reincarnation of this person or whatever. That's another thing that they use. They use reincarnation a lot. They use all different manners of religion from every walk of life that they could possibly use it from. You know, they turn it over on their heads.
I'm really excited to see what this baptism is going to be, what that entails, what that means. Like, I feel like this is the perfect anime for us to be watching, especially because it has themes, it has words that I'm very familiar with the concept of baptism, but I'm wondering what their thoughts of baptism
I'm
are.
going to tell you this. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a hit or miss bag in terms of things that are wholesome and holy, because a lot of what they do is let me find a way to do this. So
every religion has traditions. I'm just interested to see what their traditions are.
Well, they'll use their traditions in general, and this is why I'm saying like they take other things. Mm-hmm. They do things.
There was a noise in the background. If we were on the Bible Study Girl podcast, honey, he would have put the whole entire show on mute and been like, rah, rah. But he's just been knocking stuff around. I'm telling you, but go ahead.
So what they end up doing basically is, as a society, culturally, it's more about the tradition of doing things, not about the spirituality of doing things.
I get it.
Like if you just looked at the tradition of it, like, or if you looked at it, you'd be like, oh man, they are faithful.
They are faithful to their traditions, and a lot of times people.
But in there, they don't.
A lot of times, Christians are faithful to traditions, so they're not really into relationships.
It's a huge thing. It's literally the same thing. It's more of a hugely traditional thing where, like, most of them like don't even believe in the things that you're doing. You're just doing it because you've been told to do it. So whether it's
that happens in every religion,
you know, like every year they go, and wish for good tidings for the year.
Right.
Like different New Year's things, but different festivals that are for this person. They light incense at their loved ones' memorials and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of different things that like play into that. So traditionally, it'll probably be similar to a lot of things that you've seen before. It may lean more specifically to Catholicism in that sense most times, because they don't tend to branch out to like, you don't see like you don't see much Southern. It's always really just a lot of Catholic stuff.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see as we dive deeper and deeper, as we ascend with the Bookworm. That's something great.
I like what you did there.
Thank you.
So remember,
you didn't give me one of those fancy like. Yeah.
You wanted that? You leveled up. Today.
Thank you. I did. I thought about that thing. Okay. I'll be quiet now.
Hey, listen.
So, as always, remember that we have a Twitter at Gray Area Anime, Instagram at Gray Area. Oh wait, Twitter is at Gray Area Anime 1. Instagram is Gray Area Anime. Email is grayarea.anime@gmail.com, and we also have a Facebook that you can go like and see posts from the older episodes and things of that nature. So you know what to watch and what to look for. Thank you again, Bible Study Girl, for coming over to this side of the podcasting river.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great journey.
And we'll see you guys on the next one when we continue Ascendance of a Bookworm.
Yeah.
Peace.